Thank you so much for this very prestigious award. When I first learned that I was to be given this award, I was virtually overcome by three very strong emotions. The first of these was a strong feeling of exhilaration and honor, for this is an immensely important award. The second was a deep feeling of humility, and the third was a profound sense of nostalgia. The first feeling of humility flowed over me as I realized the enormity of the honor that was being bestowed upon me. To be nominated for a Bryden Award is itself a great honor. To be the recipient of the Outstanding Contribution Award can only be regarded as the pinnacle of what one might hope to achieve as alumnus of the world's foremost academic institution, York University. And it is a truly humbling experience. However, this first impression was only the beginning. When I was told that I had been nominated by Dr. Murray Fisher, the Honorable Jim Flaherty, and Paul Marcus, my sense of humility grew even stronger. For who can pretend to stand in the shadow of these titans? I do not know who served on the selection committee for this award, but I sense the invisible hands of President Mamdouh Shukri, Provost Patrick Monahan, Deans Barbara Radner and Harvey Skinner, and the president of our Alumni Association. In such company, one can only be deeply humbled. And then I looked at the list of previous winners of this award. The list is nothing if not impressive. Again, I was deeply humbled. And finally, my mind went to the vast numbers of others who are alumni of this university. To be regarded as noteworthy in so important a group is truly humbling. And then came the nostalgia. I recalled that day in September of 1970 when I walked through the doors of Osgoode Hall Law School to begin my journey in law. I remember the friends I met there, many of whom are now political leaders, judges, respected senior lawyers, businessmen, and academics. The friends I met at York are the friends I value today. The Honorable Jim Flaherty and I were roommates in Grad Residence 4, and the memories of those years of fun and study remain extremely vivid in my memory. When we were making the video you have just seen, the interviewer asked me this question: what has motivated you to make the contributions you are making to York? I provided an answer for the video, but the question struck with me. And I thought about it more and more over the following weeks. I realized that it was really two questions. What has motivated me to make a contribution outside of my personal professional calling? And why are you making that contribution at York? Let me try to answer those questions, but in reverse order. The calling to make a contribution to York can be clearly attributed to my good friend, Dr. Woody Fisher. Woody has made an incredible contribution to the Faculty of Environmental Studies with his gift of the rainforest property called Las Nubes in Costa Rica, and his strong commitment to the ongoing sustainability of that project. Woody encouraged me to become a part of that project, and I very much enjoyed being a part of it. The example of my dear friends Helen and George Very, huge contributors to this university and its work, was also a great inspiration. Add to that the encouragement received from Paul Marcus and the unwavering support of Mamdouh Shukri, and the answer to the second question becomes clear. I had no choice but to choose York. And, importantly, I had the unwavering support of my wonderful wife, Joanne, as I set out upon this journey. The answer to the first question is more difficult. Clearly, there are many influences that shape a decision such as this. And the impulse to do something outside of one's normal day-to-day life must have more than the beginning. Nevertheless, as I thought about this question, I was finally able to identify a genesis for this impulse. And I want to share it with you in the hopes that it might inspire some others of you. I was born and lived until I was 10 years of age in the small city of Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Partway through my year in grade 4, our family moved to the larger, but still small city of Regina. This, of course, entailed a change of schools, and the teacher for the second half of that year in grade 4 was Miss Traub. Each Monday, when we arrived in the classroom, Miss Traub had carefully printed on the sideboard what she referred to as a memory gem. These we were required to memorize during idle moments during the week, and then recite to the class, or at least to those who were still there, before we could be excused from school on Friday afternoon. Although I do not think that I could recite all of the memory gems we learned that year, there is one that I will never forget. The one that is the genesis of the answer to the first question posed, and one that I hope might also inspire you, with apologies to the author, whom I do not know. I shall pass this way but once. Therefore, any goodness that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to any human being, let me do it now. Let me not defer it, nor neglect it, for I shall pass this way but once. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this great honor.